Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone and Rule Well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the spirit. This is an article. It's pretty long, so I don't think I'm going to get through at least half of it. It's pretty long, but a lot of it is on point as I went through the article a couple of times in the past and briefly skimmed through it from time to time just to kind of recap on the insight of what they foresee happening to Babylon 2025. This article came out December 6, 2010, and that was literally, 15 years? Wait, yep, I want to say roughly, 10, 20, wait a minute. Yep, 25 years, golly. Wait, 10 to 20, 15 years ago. Literally. And the crazy part about it is that they're on point with it for the most part, which shows you that the plan of the elites have always been to set up a global technocracy and to collapse these world governments to bring everybody under one world government. Now, I remember the elder Apostle Tahar brought out a lesson maybe a couple of months ago regarding how empire bottoms out after 250 years. And we're currently in the 249th year of since America was established as a nation. Though this land has been here since the Native Americans got here, all right, which this was known as the land of, I believe the scholars referred it to as the land of Canaan as well, because you got the word Canada, okay, which all of is really one continent with Canada or Canaan or unknown land. And we understand that Solomon had Phoenicians that came over here and different subjects to come over here to gather up substance for the temple, which was a 3-year journey there and back, which proves that in the Apocrypha that the Columbus, I believe it took his voyage, or the Northern Kingdom, I think it took him a voyage of a year and a half to get over here by boat. And if you look at the route, it's pretty on point. All right. So either way it go, this place is getting ready to be destroyed. And the article says how America will collapse by 2025 as you have all these financial gurus. This global CBDC system, that stands for central bank digital currency. These particular terrorist attacks, okay, the cyber attacks on the global infrastructures. Like I believe the U.S. Department of Treasury was hacked yesterday, or I believe it was under some type of cyber attack, such as the water systems. Okay, the Social Security numbers have been leaked. I mean, this place is collapsing all around us, man. You know, and it's collapsing from within. But it says how America will collapse by 2025. It says 4 scenarios that could spell the end of the United States as we know it in the very near future. And Lord's will, this be the year, as Apostle Tahar deemed this year, the hopeful year of our deliverance and the downfall of Edom, which is a highly spiritual title because the scriptures say, Yahweh Shai said, behold, I seen Satan cast from heaven as lightning. All right. So Esau is getting ready to go down, man. All right. And as he's going down, he's going to come down with more draconian laws. Things are going to get more weirder, more freaky about a moment. More judgments are going to take place. More people are going to start to bug out. And before you know it, this place is going to be plunged in anarchy. So it says a soft landing for America 40 years and now. Don't bet on it. But the demise of the United States as the global superpower could come far more quickly than anyone imagines. It says if Washington is dreaming of a 2040 or 2050 as the end of the American century, a more realistic assessment of domestic and global trends suggests that in 2025, just 15 years from now, it could all be over except for the shouting. Damn. And this is an article that was published 15 years ago, man. But a lot of the things that got on point, because when you went into the elites, they had a plan called 2030, the 2030 plan, right? The 2030 agenda, when they was going to have everybody micro sealed by the year 2030 and have the New World Order. And this is going to be a full blown technocracy. This was supposed to have been up by 2030. But I believe that in some sources, they stated that they have to do it before 2030. Like yesterday, we showed the video of going into the Bank of Settlements, of international settlements, and the infrastructure of this digital paradigm that's being set up. Basically, the lady was going into how they want to operate these programs as soon as 2026. Okay, because a lot of these programs have passed the piloting phase, which pilot just means like the beginning or pre. Like if you watch a TV series, they have what they call the pilot episode, which pretty much lays the foundation of what the whole season is going to be about, man. All right. So by them operating in these pilot programs from the CBDCs, the Fed now, which they started a program of that, the pilot program back in 2023, but it's kind of been on a hush hush. But now these systems are getting ready to go abroad now, or go online. All right, Louisville soon, because the dollar is through. Okay, but it says despite the aura of omnipotence, most empires project a look at their history should remind us that they are fragile organisms. So delicate is their ecology of power that when things starts to go truly bad, empires regularly unravel with unholy speed. Prime example, the Roman Empire. Okay, once they started being spread thin and wars was breaking out, infighting, civil wars. Okay, deterioration of global infrastructure. Okay, the people were voting against Rome, the political movements, the taxes. Rome pretty much damn near fell overnight, man. All right, even though it was a long time of buildup. But the decline of Rome came literally like that. And we're seeing the same thing happen here in Babylon the Great, man. All right, so let me get a precept real quick. Let's look this up. I think it's in the book of Luke. Satan and lightning. Oh, come on, man. Lightning. Luke 10 and 18. The start of verses. Luke 10 and 18, it says, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. And lightning is swift, it's quick, okay, it's precise, bam. It's like a flash, bam, you see it and you don't see it no more. And that's how this man is getting ready to go down. He's in power 1 minute. Like I said, one day we going to wake up and everything is just going to be different. Okay, one day all hell going to break loose, and then the next day, not literally the next day, but eventually the missile's going to come. And it's going to come abrupt, man, because a lot of people, they not expecting this shit. Like you had this judgment on Bourbon Street that took place early this morning. I think a truck plowed into like 30 people. I think 10 were killed. Planes falling out the sky left and right. Fucking fog everywhere. Wars, chariots popping up. I mean, that's to say the least. World War III, mass deportation. Okay. Cyber attacks on infrastructures. Shit is happening, bro. All right. Go to Nahum 3. Go back into that because I want to get some meat off that bone. But anyway, it says, so delicate is the ecology of power that when things start to go truly bad, empires regularly unravel with unholy speed. Quick. Matter of fact, the scripture says it's going to take 1 hour to destroy Babylon. 1 hour to literally completely demolish this place, man. And you look at the relationships that America is having with allied aid, they're not really in good standing with Babylon, man, because Trump is talking about putting tariffs on other European nations. Like, how stupid can you be? And on top of that, you got BRICS that's getting ready to launch their currency or launch their program. So it's not looking too good for this place. But it reads, just a year for Portugal, 2 years for the Soviet Union, 8 years for France, 11 years for the Ottomans, 17 years for Great Britain, and in all likelihood, 22 years for the United States, counting from the crucial year of 2003, which around that time, I believe the Patriot Act was passed. I think during the time after 9/11, then I think Obama revised it, the NDAA Act 2, which deemed every U.S. citizen the T word. But it says future historians are likely to identify the Bush administration's rash invasion of Iraq in that year as the start of the America's downfall. But that's actually not true, because when you go back into the time of the 60s, during the time of the Apollo so-called space missions, That's when Esau started to go down. Okay, according to the book of Obadiah. They've been going down ever since. Matter of fact, what was it? The Reagan, not the Nixon administration. What administration? I forgot. In 1952, when the chariots appeared over the U.S. Capitol. I think it was during the Eisenhower administration, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check something real quick. Let me do this. Oh shit. Let's do this real quick. Eisenhower. No, March 29. Yep, also known by. Yep, I believe it was right after the Eisenhower. Yep, 1953 to 61. I think that double served maybe 2 terms. Wait, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, he served 2 terms, man. Yep. So I think this was during the time, or no, it may have been during the Truman administration. I'm not sure. It's between one of them devils. Either way it go, that's when the Most High started marking his devil's downfall. All right. Let's go back. Where the fuck is it at? What the hell is it at? Damn, I just had it. See, that's that madness that I'm talking about, man. Okay, here we go. It says, however, instead of the bloodshed that marked the end of so many past empires with cities burning and civilians slaughtered, this 21st century imperial collapse could come relatively quietly through the invisible tendrils of economic collapse of cyber warfare. Well, that's first and foremost. Eventually, there will be bloodshed. Okay, the most wickedest, vilest kingdom on the planet Earth. This place will have the most bloodshed, all right? And it's going to be a worldwide thing because when America falls, parts of Europe, or Europe is going to fall in tandem with America, all right? When America falls, France is going to fall, Britain is going to fall, Germany is going to fall, okay? Austria, all these places are going to fall in tandem, okay? Because they're still considered Esau's power structure. He's going to fall completely. But it says, but no, I have no doubt when Washington's global dominion finally ends, there will be painful daily reminders of what such a loss of power means for the Americans in every walk of life. It says, as a half a dozen of European nations have discovered, imperial decline tends to have remarkably demoralizing impact on society, regularly bringing in at least a generation of economic privation. It says, as the economy cools, political temperatures arise, often sparking serious domestic unrest, which means among the people. So once the economy collapses, people are going to go batshit crazy because the resource is going to be scarce. Okay, that's 2 Esdras 15. All right. This is the book of Nahum 1:3-1. It says, woe to the bloody city. It says, it is all full of lies and robbery, and the prey departed not. Right. The bloody city, because there will be bloodshed on the shores of America, man. And we are already seeing it. OK, like we mentioned, somebody plowed into 30 people, man. OK, somebody got shot out here last night in KC. A man beheaded his 1-year-old child. Like, shit is getting turned up out here. You got 70,000 men that's part of some group text that's talking about beating the shit out of fucking women and their kids and their mothers. I mean, the violence is already set up, man. Okay, they're just waiting on a perfect scenario. But it reads here, it says, available economic, educational, and military data indicate that when it comes to U.S. global power, negative trends will aggregate rapidly by 2020, and that's when the pandemic started. And that's on point, and are likely to reach a critical mass no later than 2030. And what's the chances that the elites was talking about the plan of 2030, man? Okay, this article came out 15 years ago, but just recent, the elites was talking about 2030. So it says the American century proclaimed so triumphantly at the start of World War II and will be tattered and fading by 2025. It's eighth decade that could be history by 2030. So, yeah, this shit is going to be done here, man. Okay, now, if they make it up to 2030, then I don't see it going beyond that. But I pray like hell. I don't want to be here another 5 years, man. But even then, it's less than 5 years at this point because, honestly speaking, shit, we already January the 1st. Shit, we already got less than a year before this year is over with. So That's going to fly by. But it says significantly in 2008, the U.S. National Intelligence Council admitted for the first time that America's global power was indeed on a decline trajectory. But in one of its periodic futuristic reports, Global Trends 2025, the council cited the transfer of global wealth, as we know that America signed over their sovereignty into the UN, right? It says transfer of global wealth and economic power now underway roughly from west to east and without precedent in modern history as the primary factor in a decline of the United States' relatively strength, even in the military realm. Yep, because they got a bunch of trannies in there, a bunch of moles. And at this time, they had that folly, don't ask, don't tell. Okay, because Obama was president during the time of this article. But it says, like many in Washington, however, the council's analysts anticipated a very long, very soft landing for the American global preeminence and will harbor the hope that somehow the U.S. will long retain unique military capabilities to project military power gloriously for decades to come. So once America's power fade as a superpower, the military is not going to have any dominance, because I mentioned that the Pakistanians, all right, the fucking East Indians, they got missiles that can equate on par with the Sarmat bomb, man, which is, I believe, Russia's version of Satan. So Babylon is through, man. But it says no luck. Under current projections, the United States will find itself in second place behind China, which really they already are. They're really behind Russia. It says already the world's second largest economy and an economic output around 2026, behind India by 2050. This place ain't going to be standing by 2050. This shit is going to be a desert. It says similarly, Chinese innovation is on a trajectory towards world leadership in applied science and military technology sometime between 2020 and 2030. But just as America's current supply of brilliant scientists and engineers retires without adequate replacement by an ill-educated younger generation, which is these Gen Zers, right? It says by 2020, according to current plans, the Pentagon would throw a military Hail Mary pass for a dying empire, which was the pandemic. It says it will launch a lethal triple canopy of advanced aerospace robotics, AI, that represents Washington's last best hope of retaining global power despite its waning economic influence. And this shit is on point, and this came out in 2010. Damn. It says by that year, however, China's global network of communication satellites, backed by the world's most powerful supercomputers, will also be fully operational, providing Beijing with the independent platform for the weaponization of space and a powerful communication systems for missile or cyber strikes into every quadrant of the globe, man. Okay. And like I said, this is a long article, so this might have to be broken up into several parts. All right. So I think I'm in part one at this place here. And then I think I'm going to do like a part 2, part 3, because they said there's like 4 particular trends that pretty much show you how the shit is going to be done by 2025. So this can literally be fucking 8 lessons, man, because this is a long article. Like each paragraph is a lesson. All right. So I'm going to end it here and get a couple of precepts because, I mean, like I said, this is a good read. And ain't no way in hell I'm finna read all this shit in one set. My attention span is not that great anymore. All right. Like I said, look like colorblind glasses, but for ADHD. Right. I think we all suffer from that being here in this place. Let me see some. Military world order. Oh yeah. It's a lot to go. Yep. So anyway, going down to verse 2, it says the noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of prancing horses and of jumping chariots. It says the horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none of their corpses, and they stumble upon their corpses, because as we mentioned, man, there's going to be a bloodshed here, okay, from point A to point Z. All right, when these cities go up in smoke, and when they shut these places down and they deploy the military to the streets of America, people are going to have there's going to be civil unrest. That's why it says the noise of whip, the noise of rattling of wheels and prancing horses and jumping chariots, the military vehicles. The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and glittering spear, and there's a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, meaning the dead. It says, and there is none end of their corpses, and they stumble upon their corpses, because the scriptures say that the dead should be cast out as dung, man. All right. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored-hearted, which is a Babylon, because Nimrod is spiritual America, or America is spiritually Nimrod. But it says, the selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, says Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. And this is why everybody is shaming this place, man, and they don't take you serious. Okay, you got Chinese women, people from abroad talking about how foul this place is, man. Okay, they talking about how foul you women are, man. Like it was this one Keisha down in Dallas. She said Jake men don't like nigga women down in Dallas. And every brother that I know down there, they dealing with the Northern Kingdom, the Spice Castle, which hey, I ain't mad at you brothers, man. Spice on for real. But shit, this bride was talking about how black men go out their way to ignore them, and that the foreigners of Dallas that ain't natives look down on black women. Well, because they know that you motherfuckers ain't right over here, man. Like you got these group of lowlifes called the Passport Sisters, and you don't go there and get the favor like Jake get, man. Okay, because the world is waking up to your folly and to your madness, man. Okay, you go to fucking Dubai and get plummeled on. Or you go to places like South Korea and the men only want you for one thing, which is sex. And then if you trying to play that Houston attitude role on them with that fake hair, they just look at you like they'll dismiss you, man. Okay, you black women, you're played out. Nobody wants you like that, man. Okay, you only want it for recreational purposes, man. And give or take, you got some decent ones out there. I'm not going to say that you don't have any, but as a collective, most of you hoes are cooked, man. Literally. And it says, and I would cast abominable filth upon thee and would make thee vile and set thee as a gazing stock. Yeah, everybody's looking at you like you can't even win a basic regional war because you got a bunch of soy boys in your military, man. And it says, and it should come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee and say, never is laid waste, who will bemoan her? And when shall I seek confidence for thee? Art thou better than Publius? No, that was salute or situte or situate among the rivers that had the waters round about it, which the waters of the people, whose rampart was the sea and her walls from the sea, because there's a lot of exports and trading done by sea, right? It says, but Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was effeminate, but Put and Lubium were thy helpers. Yet she was carried away, and she went into captivity, and her young children were also dashed in pieces at the top of all the streets, and they cast lots for her honorable men, and all the great men were bound in chains. Yeah, man, because there's going to be a form of slavery is coming back in a big way, and this is going back into ancient Nimrod as well. But at the same time, America is going to face the same judgment. But it reads here, it says, thou also should be drunken, thou should be hid, thou also shall seek strength because of the enemy. And all thy strongholds should be like fig trees when the fig stripe figs. And if they be broken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. And these other nations are going to eat you and take your substance, man. It says, but behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. Yep, the men and women. All right, the men are women and the women are men. It says, and the gates of thy land should be set wide open unto thy enemies, and fire should devour thy bars. Yeah, man, because you got a lot of foreigners over here now. All right, it says, draw thee waters from the siege, fortify strongholds, go into clay and tread the mortar, make strong the brickling, and there the fire should devour thee, and the sword should cut thee off, and it should eat thee up like the cankerworm, and make thyself many as the cankerworm, and make thyself as the locust, man. All right, because you're gonna have famine, you're gonna have pestilence. Okay, you're gonna have ultimately the missiles to ultimately finish this place off for good. Okay, 2 Peter 3, and I'm gonna start at verses 7. It says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, which are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. And eventually, I believe this article goes into how they're going to have to face a global conflict, but they're not going to really go into the nitty gritty on how this place is going to be destroyed by fire, because if an Edomite wrote the article, in his mindset, his beloved empire can never go down. All right, Esau don't believe that his society is going to ever be destroyed. But like the scriptures say, that he should be flushed away as a dream, man. But it says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as in one day. But the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering towards usward, not willing that any should perish, but all should come to repentance. All right. But it says here, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and a thief operates quick, swift, in a tactful manner. As a thief in the night, which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. It reads the earth also, and the works that there are in shall be burned up. And seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting, and that's the point I wanted to make, until the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire should be dissolved, and the elements should melt with fervent heat, man. Okay, so yeah, man, this shit is getting ready to go down. Lord's will 2025 be the year of our Lord, man. Finally come and get us out of this Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai forsaken place, you know, and please just get us up out of here, man. You know, we're ready to leave. We're ready to get delivered. Okay, I'm tired of you people, man. All right. Matter of fact, Isaiah 13, and I'm going to start at verses 22. It says, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and their dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days should not be prolonged, man. All right. And when you go into the word prolonged, it means to hold something off. But the scriptures say that this place is not going to be prolonged anymore, man. Okay. So, hey, that article is on point. Lord's will, you were edified. One more precept, Revelation 18. And I'm going to start at verses 10. It says, standing afar off for the fear of our torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. Okay. So that 1 hour the Lord is going to take to destroy this place, man. And Lord's will, that's soon. But anyway, I'm going to end it, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.